Solve problems to find out optimum strategies and game values on mixed strategy for 2 by 2 games by using following methods. First, arithmetic method or odds method or shortcut method. Second, algebraic method. We will read the first question for arithmetic method. Reduce the following game by dominance and find out game value. This question was asked in exam PU Bcom April 2014, GNDU Bcom April 2014, Dayalbagh Education Institute Agra MBA December 2013, JNTU Hydarabad MCA Feb 2012, VTU Karnataka BE June 2012, PTU B mech 2012, BTech CSC 2009, GNDU Bcom 2004, 2002, PU MCom 2004, 2003, Bcom April 2007, April 2006 and September 2004.
This is the question for player A and player B. Now we have to reduce this matrix by using dominance property as mentioned in the question. Dominance property is used only when there is mixed strategy. So we are going to use rule 3, solve for mixed strategy. Let us understand the meaning of mixed strategy. In mixed strategy, player A must determine what portion of time to play each strategy. So these strategies are along the rows for player A. In the same way, player B must determine what portion of time to play each strategy. Now for player B, each strategy is along the column, that is column number 1, 2, 3 and 4. So here we have to determine the portion of time for strategy 1, 2, 3, 4 for player A as well as player B. Now we will take the first step. We will reduce this matrix by using dominance property. So for that we have to find out the dominated row as well as dominated column. So if we observe, we will first find out the dominated row. So we will compare the first elements in the first row with the other row. So here is 3. So here is also 3. Then this element should be less than the other elements. So here 3, then 2. 2 is less than 4. Here 4. So 4 is greater than 2. So we will compare to the next. So here 3 is less than 4. Then 2 is equal to 2. 4 is equal to 4 and 0 is equal to 0. So we can say that the row number 1 is dominated by row number 3. So row 1 is dominated row. So we will remove this row. So I will make here the line with the help of red mark. Now in the same way we have to find out the dominated column. So elements in dominated column must be greater than the other elements. That is, I will compare the elements from first row. So here is 3. So now 3 is less than 4 but 3 is greater than 2. So 3 is greater than 2. So we will compare the next elements. 4. 4 is equal to 4 and 0 is equal to 0. So we can say that this column number 1 is also dominated column. So here elements must be greater than or equal to in the column. And now in the same way elements must be less than or equal to in the row. So these two are the dominated rows and columns. So we will write the remaining elements. So remaining elements for player A and player B, I will rewrite here 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 0, 4, 0, 8. Now again we have to give the numbers for rows and columns. So here 2, 3, 4 and here also 2, 3, 4. Now again we will take the average of the column number 3 and 4 because if we compare the elements then we cannot find out the dominated column. So we will take here the average of 3 and 4. So I will here take the another column. or I will extend this column with average of 3 and 4. So how to take average? That is, I will take column number 3, C3 plus C4 divided by 2. So if I take 2 plus 4 divided by 2, that is 6 divided by 2, 3. 4 plus 0 divided by 2, 2, and 0 plus 8 divided by 2, 4. Now if I compare, here 4 is greater than 3, 2 is equal to 2, and 4 is equal to 4. So we can say that column number 2 is dominated by the average of 3 and 4. So column number 2 is the dominated column. So we have to remove this. So we will mention here the other elements 3, 4, and here 2, 3, 4. So now we will write the other elements 2, 4, 4, 0, 0, 8. Now again we have to remove one row. So if we observe here, these elements are 2 and 4, and here is element 4, 0, 0, 8. So we will take the average of 3 and 4. So again I will extend here one row. So for this one row, here how to take average of 3 and 4, that is R3 plus R4. R3 plus R4 divided by 2. So 4 plus 0 divided by 2, 2. 0 plus 8 divided by 2, that is 4. So if we observe, these elements are equal. So dominated row should have the lower or lesser elements or equal elements. So less than or equal to other elements. So here 2 is equal to 2, 4 is equal to 4. That means this row 2 is the dominated row. So we will remove this. Now we will write the remaining elements. So I will write here 4, 0 and 0, 8. We have to mention the rows and column number also. So here is row 3, 4 and column also 3 and 4. Now we have to find out the strategies as well as the game value. So here we will use the first method, that is the arithmetic method. It is also known as odds method or shortcut method, and it is applicable for 2 by 2 game. That means 2 number of rows as well as 2 number of columns. So what is the first step? So first step is that we have to take the difference in between the first column, that is 4 minus 0, and we have to write under the second column, that is the column number 4. So if there is the negative sign, if we take the difference and there is negative sign, then we have to ignore that sign. So here 4 minus 0, 4. Now in the same way, we will take the difference for the fourth column and we will write under column 3. 0 minus 8, but we will ignore this sign, we will write 8. Then in the same way for rows, 4 minus 0, that is 4. And 0 minus 8, but we will ignore this sign, that is 8. Now we have to simplify this. So we have to find out the proportion of time. So we will take here 8 plus 4, that is 12, and we have to divide both of these elements with 12. So I will take 8 by 12, 4 by 12. In the same way 8 plus 4 is 12. So again I will write 8 by 12, 4 by 12. Now again we will simplify this. So how to simplify this? 2 divided by 3 and here 1 divided by 3. So 2 divided by 3 and here 1 divided by 3. So this is the simplified form. So from this we come to know that player A should use strategy 3 for 2 by 3 times, and he should play strategy 4 for 1 by 3 times. And what about the strategy 1 and 2? So he should not play strategy 1 and 2. In the same way, player B should play strategy 3 for 2 by 3 times and strategy 4 for 1 by 3 times. What about the other strategies? That is strategy 1 and 2 he should not play. So how to write the answer? So answer we have to write for player A strategy. We will write here for first row it is 0. For second row it is 0. For third row, so for third row we have to play for 2 by 3 times. and for fourth row it is for 1 by 3 times. Now in the same way for B strategy, we will write for first column it is 0, for second column it is 0, third column it is 2 by 3 times, and for fourth 1 by 3 times. Now we will find out the game value. So how to find out the game value? So we can use any elements, that is we can use the elements from any row or any column. So we will take here the first row, that is the third row. 4 multiplied by 8 plus 0 multiplied by 4. 4 multiplied by 8 plus 0 multiplied by 4 divided by 8 plus 4, that is 12. So we can say that here is 0. So 4 multiplied by 8 by 12. So here the answer is simplified form, that is 8 by 3. So game value is 8 by 3.
We will read the second question for arithmetic method. A and B play a game in which each has 3 coins, a 5 paise, 10 paise and 20 paise. Each player selects a coin without the knowledge of other's choice. If the sum of coins is an odd amount, A wins B's coin. If the sum is even, B wins A's coin. Find the best strategy for each player and the value of the game. This question was asked University of Mumbai PGDM 2012, JNTU Hydarabad B Tech CSC December 2011, May 2009, RU MSc Math 2011, GNDU Bcom September 2010, September 2008, 2006, PTU B Tech Mech 2010, PU Bcom April 2011, September 2009, September 2006, April 2007, April 2006.
Let us first prepare the matrix as per given data. Player A and player B are having 3 coins, 5 paise, 10 paise and 20 paise. Now if the coin chooses by the player A and player B sum is odd, then A wins B's coin, and if sum is even, B wins A's coin. We will prepare here the matrix for player A. That is, whenever player A wins coin, then we will take here the positive number, and whenever B wins, that means A loses coin. So whenever A loses coin, so that value we have to mention here with negative sign. Now first we will consider here A chooses 5 paise coin and B also chooses 5 paise coin. Then 5 plus 5 is 10, that means sum is even. So whenever sum is even, B wins A's coin. So A is having 5 paise coin, that means A loses 5 paise. So I will write here minus 5. In the same way 5 plus 10, that is 15, sum is odd. A wins B's coin. B is having 10 paise coin, so we have to take here A gains 10 paise, that means I have to write plus 10. Then 5 plus 20, that is 25, sum is odd. A wins B's coin. B is having 20 paise, so A will get the 20 paise, so I will write here plus 20. Then 10 plus 5, that is A chooses 10 paise coin, B chooses 5 paise coin. So 10 plus 5 is 15, A wins B's coin, B is having 5 paise, so I will write here plus 5. 10 plus 10, that is 20, sum is even, B wins A's coin. So A is having 10 paise, so we have to write here, now he loses 10 paise, so I have to write here minus 10. Then 10 plus 20, that is 30, sum is even, so again B wins A's coin, so here is also minus 10. Then 20 plus 5, 25, that is sum is odd, A wins B's coin, so B is having 5 paise coin. Then 20 plus 10, that is 30, sum is even, B wins A's coin, so A is having 20 paise coin, so he will lose 20 paise. Then 20 plus 20, 40, sum is even, B wins A's coin. That means A is having 20 paise, that is A will lose 20 paise, so I will write here minus 20. So this is the matrix that is getting completed. For this matrix there is no any saddle point, so we will reduce this matrix by using dominance property. So here we will first find out the dominated column. So each element in the dominated column should be greater than or equal to other elements. Now if we observe here, 20 is greater than 10 and minus 5. Minus 10 is equal to minus 10 and minus 20 is equal to minus 20. So here this column 3 is the dominated column. So I will remove this. So now we have to write the other columns and rows. So here I will write 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now we will mention here the elements. So the remaining elements are minus 5, 10, 5 minus 10, 5 minus 20. Now again we have to find out the dominated row. So dominated row, if every element in the dominated row should be less than or equal to other elements. So here minus 5 is less than this 5 and 5, but 10 is greater. So again we will compare this. 5 is equal to 5 and minus 20 is less than minus 10. So here this row number 3 is the dominated row and it is dominated by row number 2. So here I will remove this. So I will mention the other elements. So here we will write row number 1, 2, column number 1, 2, and we will mention the elements also. So minus 5, 10 and 5 minus 10. So this is the 2 by 2 matrix. So here for 2 by 2, that is 2 number of rows and 2 number of columns, we will use the arithmetic method. It is also said that odds method or shortcut method. So how to use this? So we will take the difference. So we have to ignore the sign. So if I take difference in between this first column, minus 5 minus 5, that is minus 10, but we have to ignore the sign. So we will write this difference on the other, under the other column, that is 10. 10 minus minus 10, that is 10 plus 10, 20. Here the minus 5 minus 10, that is minus 15, but we have to ignore this and we have to write here 15. 5 minus minus 10, that is 5 plus 10, 15. Now we will simplify this. So if we observe here, the addition is 20 plus 10, 30 and 15 plus 15, 30. So we will divide this 4 elements with 30. Now we will simplify this. So 15 by 30, that is half, half. 20 by 30, 2 by 3, and here is 1 by 3. Now how to write this strategy A and B? So if we observe, A will use the strategy 1 and 2 for half times, but he should not use this strategy 3, because here that means A should not choose the coin 20. Now in the same way, B should use the strategy 1 for 2 by 3 times and strategy 2 for 1 by 3 times. That is, he should choose the coin 5 for 2 by 3 times and he should choose the coin 10 for 1 by 3 times, but he should not choose the coin 3, that is coin for 20 paise. So now we will use the strategies for A and B. So strategy for A. So we have to write A half, comma 0. Now strategy B. So for the strategy B, for first strategy it is 2 by 3, then 1 by 3 and then 0. So both should not choose the 20 paise coin. Now we will find out the game value. So we can use any elements from the row and column. So I will choose the first row. So minus 5 multiplied by 20 plus 10 multiplied by 10 divided by this 20 plus 10, that is 30. So now 20 multiplied by 5, that is minus 100 plus 100 divided by 30, so which is equal to 0. So game value is 0.
We will read the third question for algebraic method. The two armies at war. Army A has two air bases, one of which is thrice as valuable as the other. Army B can destroy an undefended air base, but it can destroy only one of them. Army A can also defend only one of them. Find the best strategy for A to minimize its losses. This question was asked PU Bcom April 2008.
Let us prepare the gain matrix for Army A. There are two strategies for Army A: defend smaller airbase and defend larger airbase. In the same way, Army B is having two strategies: attack smaller airbase and attack larger airbase. Now this is the gain matrix for Army A. So whenever the Army A loses smaller airbase, we will write here the -1 point. And when the Army A loses larger air base, as it is given that the larger air base is 3 times valuable than smaller air base, so we will write here -3 point. Now we will take here the combination of 1 and 1, that is defend smaller air base and attack smaller air base. Because smaller air base is defended, that means there is no any loss, so we will write here as a 0. Then we will take the combination of 1 and 2, that is defend smaller air base and attack larger air base. So the smaller air base is getting defended, so this larger air base is destroyed, so there is the loss for -3 points. Now we will take the combination of 2 and 1, that is defend larger air base and attack smaller air base. So here, because this larger air base is defended, so here smaller air base is getting destroyed, so now there is the loss of -1 point. And now we will take the combination of these two, defend larger air base and attack larger air base. So here larger air base is getting defended, so there is no any loss, so we will write here as a 0. Now if we observe this matrix, there is no any saddle point. Then here loss of the Army B is equal to gain of the Army A, or vice versa. So we can say that this is the zero sum game. Then this is 2%, there is Army A and Army B. So this is the 2% zero sum game and 2 by 2 matrix. As because there is no any saddle point, this strategy we can say that mixed strategy, and we will use the rule 3, solve for mixed strategy. For this question we are going to use algebraic method. Now what is the specification of this algebraic method? Here we have to consider the frequency or the proportion of time that is used by these persons or players, or we can say here for Army A as well as Army B for each strategy. So for Army A we will consider here the proportion of time for strategy 1 is X. So I will mention here. And for Army A, proportion of time used for this strategy 2 will be 1 minus X. Now in the same way for Army B, proportion of time strategy 1 is used will be Y. And for Army B, proportion of time for strategy 2 is used will be 1 minus Y. So this is the proportion of time, X and 1 minus X and Y and 1 minus Y. That means we can say that this total combination of using the strategy 1 and 2 for Army A, that is X 1 minus X, that is equal to 1. In the same way Y plus 1 minus Y, that is equal to 1. So we have to find out this proportion of time. That means how much proportion of time should Army A defend the smaller air base, and how much proportion of time should Army A defend the larger air base. And in the same way, how much proportion of time Army B should attack the smaller air base, and how much proportion of time should Army B attack the larger air base. Now here we have to find out optimum strategy for Army A as well as Army B. So how to find out the optimum strategy for Army A? Now we will observe this matrix. So this optimum strategy for Army A, that is, we have to find out the expected winning. So expected winning for Army A when B uses strategy 1, which is equal to expected winning of Army A when B uses strategy 2. So it depends on the B that which strategy he will use, that is unknown. So it is irrespective of the other person's strategy, that is not known, and that's why we have to equate this expected winning when B plays column 1 and expected winning when B plays column 2. So here this is for the optimum strategy for Army A. So here we have to take, by using this matrix, expected winning when B plays 1. So we have to concentrate on this column 1. So what is the expected winning for Army A when he uses column 1? So here portion of time that he used strategy will be x. So 0 multiplied by x. So I will use therefore 0 multiplied by x plus, we have to take minus 1 multiplied by 1 minus x. Minus 1 multiplied by 1 minus x is equal to expected winning when B plays 2. So here now we have to concentrate on second column. So minus 3x plus 0 into 1 minus x. So I will directly write here as a 0. So here is also 0. So minus 1 plus x is equal to minus 3x. So here will be, if I transfer this x on the right hand side, so minus 1 is equal to minus 4x and x is equal to 1 by 4. Now what is the value of 1 minus x? So 1 minus x, that is 1 minus 1 by 4. Therefore 1 minus x is equal to 3 by 4. So instead of x we have to write here 1 by 4, and instead of 1 minus x we have to write here 3 by 4. Now we will find out what is the optimum strategy of Army B. Now it will depend on which strategy is used by Army A. So we have to again take the expected winning when Army A plays strategy 1. So for strategy 1 we have to concentrate with this row. But this is the optimum strategy of B, and B is having frequency y and 1 minus y. So again I will write 0 into y. Therefore 0 into y plus minus 3 into 1 minus y is equal to expected winning when A plays strategy 2. So again for strategy 2, minus 1 into y plus 0 into 1 minus y, that is 0. So here we will solve this. Minus 3 plus 3y, which is equal to minus 1y. So we can say that 4y is equal to minus 1. If I transfer to this side, then it will become 4y is equal to 3. And that's why, therefore y is equal to 3 by 4, and therefore 1 minus y is equal to 1 by 4. So instead of y we will write here 3 by 4, and for 1 minus y we have to write here 1 by 4. So what is the answer? So answer is that is for optimum strategy. Army A should use the strategy 1 for 1 by 4 times, and Army A should use this strategy 2 for 3 by 4 times. In the same way, Army B should use the strategy 1 for 3 by 4 times, and Army B should use the strategy 2 for 1 by 4 times. Now we will find out the game value. First we will find out expected winning of Army A. So that is the expected winning of army A when B plays strategy 1 plus expected winning of army A when B plays the strategy 2. Now we will first find out expected winning when B plays 1. So whenever B plays 1, then army A is having two elements 0 and 1. Then for this 0, army A is having portion of time 1 by 4. So I will take here 0 into 1 by 4 plus second element portion of time is 3 by 4, that is minus 1 into 3 by 4. So minus 3 by 4. Now for this whole multiplication, army B is having portion 3 by 4. So I will multiply here with 3 by 4. Now plus, we will move to the second column, that is when B plays the second strategy. So for this minus 3 element, army A is having portion of time 1 by 4. That is minus 3 into 1 by 4, that is minus 3 by 4. Plus 0 into 3 by 4, that is 0. And for this whole column, army B is having portion of time 1 by 4. So I will multiply here with 1 by 4. Now we will simplify this. So this term will become 0. So 3 by 4 into minus 3 by 4, that is minus 9 by 16. Plus, now 1 by 4 into minus 3 by 4, that is minus 3 by 16, and this term is 0. So again we will solve this. So minus 9 and minus 3, that is minus 12 by 16. So we can also simplify this. Minus 3 by 4. Now we will move to the next. Expected winning for army B. So expected winning for army B, that will depend on expected winning when army A plays first strategy and when army A plays the second strategy. Now for this first strategy, army B is having two elements, that is 0 and minus 3. So for this 0, army B is having 3 by 4 portion of time. So I will write 0 into 3 by 4 plus minus 3 into 1 by 4, that is minus 3 by 4. So I will directly write minus 3 by 4. So this is when the army A plays strategy 1. So for this whole portion of time, there is 1 by 4 time will be defended by the army A. So we will multiply here 1 by 4. Plus, now we will move to the second, when army B expected winning when army A plays the second strategy. So for second strategy there are two elements, minus 1. So minus 1 into 3 by 4, that is minus 3 by 4 plus 0 into 1 by 4. So I will directly write 0. And for this calculation, portion of time given by the army A is 3 by 4. So we will multiply here with 3 by 4. Now we will simplify this. So here is 0, minus 3 by 4 into 1 by 4, that is minus 3 by 16 plus 3 by 4 into 3 by 4, that is here is also minus sign. So minus 9 by 16, that is minus 12 by 16. So in the same way, if we simplify, we will get minus 3 by 4. So game value for A also and for B also is minus 3 by 4. And this is the answer.